Hey, what's going on, guys? Thank you so much for joining me today on this 20th day in a month of metal. The band I'm talking about today is Killswitch Engage. Although I wasn't really into metalcore very much, there are a couple bands that I like in that genre. Killswitch is one of them. I didn't care for their very first album that much. Listened to it again today, and it's just a little too screamy for me. Just wasn't for me. But when Alive or Just Breathing came out, I was listening to that album a lot. That's about the time that I was driving back and forth from Las Vegas, where I was living and working. I'd work 4 days a week out there, drive that night straight to LA, work the next 2 days, and then drive back. And so I was traveling a lot. That's a 4-hour drive. I would listen to my music, I would have a big energy drink, and then I would have my notepad out right on the center console. So I would be taking down all these notes, any short story ideas. That's when I was the most prolific in my short story writing. And a lot of that has to do with listening to music like Killswitch Engage. Because sometimes it would be just a song title would spark something, or something that was in the story, or it could just be the intensity of the songs too. So I think Killswitch inspired like 3 stories. Only one saw the light of day, and that's Numbered Days off of Alive or Just Breathing. That's not my favorite song on the album. Fixation on Darkness and My Last Serenade I like a little bit better. Numbered Days is my 3rd favorite song, but that's the one that sparked the story idea off of that album. The next album, The End of Heartache, I enjoyed even more. I think that's my favorite album by Killswitch. The End of Heartache, my favorite song on there, A Bid Farewell, and When Darkness Falls. A Bid Farewell, that also sparked the story idea. I actually wrote the entire story. Maybe one day I will revisit it and try to clean it up, but I doubt it. It was about kind of like torture porn. Some guy captures a child molester, and then he sells them on eBay to the highest bidder. Although what he's really selling is that person's right to torture him, this guy, however they want. So that one won't ever see the light of day, probably, but it did inspire it. As Daylight Dies, really enjoyed that one. Now this may not be fair because it's a special edition, but my favorite song on that album is Holy Diver, and a cover. But I'm a huge Dio fan, love Ronnie James Dio. I love their version of that song, Holy Diver. And the video just makes it that much better. Super funny video. So that's with my first pick. Then we have My Curse, The Arms of Sorrow, and Unbroken. The Arms of Sorrow is another one, song title that sparked a story idea. I just never developed that one. There was another one too, another one of the songs, Let the Bridges Burn, that sparked another story idea. Again, never developed into anything. But I always go through my old list of story ideas and see which ones I want to resurrect, which ones I want to do. So who knows, maybe those will turn into something one of these days. In 2009, they released their second album named Killswitch Engage, which I don't really get so much. And I just didn't really care for that album that much. I listened to it today. I don't think I'd ever listened to it straight through. Listened to it today, and there's some good songs on there. The top songs for me on there were Save Me, Starting Over, and Light in a Darkened World. Disarm the Descent I liked more. There are some really good songs on there. My favorite off of that one is In Due Time. Second is Always and The Hell in Me. So definitely overall, very solid album, good album. Made me get back into being a fan. Incarnate, again, another solid album. Nothing super special in that one for me. Just been listening to a lot of other things. Off of that album, I enjoyed Hate by Design, Strength of the Mind, and Cut Me Loose. Atonement, which just came out last year, that's my 3rd favorite album, and that's always cool to see an older band that is just getting better, or that I like better. I know everyone has individual tastes and all that stuff, but for me, very solid album. The End of Heartache and As Daylight Dies, my first 2 favorites, but this one was super solid. Off of this one, I really enjoyed Unbroken 2, The Signal Fire with Howard Jones. That's really cool that they brought him in for a duet. My other favorites on that one are Unleashed and The Crownless King with Chuck Billy, who I will be talking about tomorrow. I decided I will talk about Testament. Again, it's not really a band that sparked a lot of story ideas, but overall they were probably a big influence. So that will be tomorrow. And if you guys haven't, if you're a Killswitch Engage fan, you probably already heard the song, but I really enjoy the song that Jesse Leach did with Machine Head, Stop the Bleeding. Really cool video. I really dig that they can take a stand and express their political views like that. So check that out if you haven't, and come back tomorrow to hear all about Testament and how much I loved them as a kid. They were huge for me. I still remember being 15 and waiting for my birthday present. All I wanted was Souls of Black, the CD, and I got it. So, huge fan. We'll talk about them tomorrow. Alright guys, that's it for today. Stay metal. Later.